I want to talk about why that course or mastermind or coaching program you bought didn't work for you. I don't know if you've ever had that feeling where you bought a piece of education, whether it's a standalone course, like a self-paced course, or a mastermind or some sort of a group coaching program, but you bought it and you thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. And it didn't work, or it really didn't return the value that you thought it was going to. Now, I'm not going to kid myself. Yes, I know that there are programs out there that maybe genuinely aren't valuable, but I'm going to choose to believe that most of the courses that you've put the time into really researching or getting a recommendation for are vetted, right? They're good courses, they're good programs, and they have great reviews, right? They're worth the purchase. But for some reason, it still didn't work for you and you're frustrated. You're like, I buy all these courses and my business is still in the same place that it was a year ago. Or I joined this program and nothing has changed. And I want to challenge you on this episode. I want to ask you to honestly think to yourself, did you go into that course or program and give it your 100% all? Because what I've started to notice is that the students who come in to any of my courses, my accelerator, my mastermind, my one-on-one coaching, those students who come in and they're ready, like they're hungry, they're ready to do the work. They want to know, like, how do I get the results that these other students that you've had get? And I'm very, very honest. I tell everyone that I work with, everyone who buys anything from me in my education business, I let them know, you're only going to get out of this what you put into it. A course is not a magic wand. A self-paced course, a database, a download, it's not a magic wand. A one-on-one coaching is not a magic wand. If you come and you do the session and then you don't do the homework or you don't dig into the things that were on your list of things to go back and work on, if you join a mastermind, but you only come to like one call every 3 to 6 months, you're not going to get the results that the students who come and do the work are getting. You're simply not. So when you are looking at a course or a program and you see all of these reviews or all of these students talking about the results they're getting, and you're like, that's where I'm going to buy it. And then you buy it and then you shove it in a drawer somewhere because you got busy, you're not going to get the same results. A course, a mastermind, any type of education is not a magic wand. It is not going to all of a sudden magically make your business different. It simply doesn't work that way. And so on today's podcast, I want to give you 3 really tangible tips to help you to evaluate if you are ready for that next piece of education that you want to invest in. Because oftentimes when we think a course or a program doesn't work, it wasn't actually the course or program. It was that you weren't ready to do the work. And that's okay. I've done it, you guys. I'm going to give you some examples in this podcast of courses that have worked for me and courses that haven't, but not a single time was because of the actual education. It was because of me, because I was or wasn't ready to implement it. So let's start with tip number 1 of the things that you can do to make sure that you are ready to invest in that next course or program before you start handing over your credit card, okay? Tip number 1 is, does this serve an immediate need in my business? So what do I mean by that? You really want to think about, what does my business need right now to really help me with the overwhelm that I'm feeling in either your finances, maybe it's in building a team, maybe it's just that you don't even know what the next step is, right, in your business. You know that you're growing, but you're not really sure what to do next. And so you've really found a course that could help you with that. But I want you to understand, what is the immediate need in your business? I'll give you an example. I have a content vault called Social 365. It's 1 whole year of blog posts and social media posts, reels, captions, Canva templates, all of it, everything you need to post as a wedding professional for 1 whole year and to grow your sales from Instagram for your business. Okay. So I absolutely love it. But if social media is not an area that you struggle with in your business, like if you're like, I actually really love social media, I'm very consistent on it, I post all the time, this might not be a tool that would be helpful to you, right? Why would you need a social content vault if you really thrive and find joy in posting social media? That's not something that would benefit you. But if you're someone that's like, I know I need to be posting consistently on social media and I don't mind doing it, but I honestly don't know what to post. I sit down every single week to create content and it's just a blank screen. This would be a perfect product for you. This would be perfect because it gives you all of the content that you need. But what it isn't is it isn't a magic wand. I'm going to keep saying that throughout this episode. It is not a magic wand. You can buy Social 365 Content Vault and you can have it, but if you don't actually set aside time every single week or hire a VA to implement the social media that you're given, it's not going to work because it's not going to post itself. It's not an automated posting schedule. It is literally there to tell you what to post, but you still have to actually put it in your own voice, right? And so it's really, really important that if you know social media content is somewhere where you struggle, this would be great. But if it's not somewhere that you struggle or you don't have the capacity to actually make the posts, it's not going to work for you. It's not a magic wand. Okay. So the very first point is, does this serve an immediate need in my business? Does what I'm buying serve an immediate need, right? That's something I really want you to think about. What is a struggle that you're having in your business right now that this course or program can solve for you? Okay. Number 2 is, what is the time commitment involved with this course or program? And do I have the capacity to put in the work that's going to be required from this course or program? In the spring of 2022, my husband came to me and said, I really want us to invest in this podcasting course. We have a great podcast, but we're kind of capped out on how far we've been able to grow it. And I think we really need to invest in some tools and resources and knowledge and how to really grow a podcast, like how to scale a podcast so that we can continue to impact as many wedding professionals as possible with your podcast. I thought about it and I said, I'm honestly completely overwhelmed. Like, I don't know if I can commit the amount of time that we need. This course was $7,000. It was not a small amount of money. And so I was like, I really want to make sure that if we do it, that I'm going to be able to really invest the time. We did a discovery call and I really wanted to understand, okay, so we get the program for life, but the coaching calls and the support, we get 6 months of. And how much time should I be setting aside every single week to really make sure that I'm getting the results that your students are getting? Because I want those results. Like, if we're going to invest this much money, I want those results. And so he gave me those parameters and I really looked at my schedule and I said, okay, for 3 months, I'm going to go ahead and block my schedule every single week for time to join the coaching calls. I blocked my schedule for time to listen to the modules before the coaching calls so that I would be able to go with any questions that I had. And I scheduled time to implement what I was learning every single week for 3 months. And I blocked that into my calendar so that I wouldn't just get busy and then only be able to do the course randomly here and there. And then the second 3 months, I only blocked the coaching calls out because I really wanted to implement in the first 3 months. I wanted to like move here, you guys. I wanted to move. So I implemented in the first 3 months. And then the second 3 months, I was starting to really see like, am I getting the results? Are there things that need to be tweaked? Is something feeling like it's not working and I can join a coaching call to refine that a little bit? And my goal was by the end of the 6 months that I would get the full return on investment that we had invested, that $7,000. But I did achieve that goal. My 6 months was the end of October and here we are in December. And I absolutely achieved that goal, but it took work. Like, there were weeks where I would have to stay up late to finish the work that I was doing in this podcasting course. But because I knew that I had to do it to get those results, and I'd spent $7,000 on this course, I wasn't about to let $7,000 go down the drain. I really want you to think about, do you have the capacity to really engage in the program that you're buying? What kind of a time commitment does it require from you? Do you have that kind of time? And can you block it into your calendar so that you are committed to making sure you get the results that you want from this program? Number 3, and the last one, is what is the ROI that you're expecting to get from the program that you're buying? So sometimes it's really, really tangible. It's like you're going to 10 times your engagement on social media, right? And you're like, okay, that's tangible. Did I 10 times my engagement by this time, right? So what is the ROI that you're expecting? Okay. For example, I did a 90-day one-on-one coaching with a coach about 18 months ago. And I did it at the end of the year, and I've shared this story before, but it was also $7,000. What is up with me and spending $7,000 on education? I don't know, but it was also $7,000, and it was 90 days of one-on-one coaching. And I specifically went with this educator because there were very specific things I wanted to learn about how to be a better educator and course creator. Like, how can I make it so that my students get the most out of everything that I teach? So I actually joined this one-on-one coaching with another course creator who was teaching how to make a bigger impact with your courses and how to really break down your content. And so it was a large investment. It was a very large investment, $7,000, nothing to sneeze at. And so I bought the 90 days of coaching, and I said to my husband, I promise you that at the end of this 90 days, I will have been able to make up that full investment with courses that I am selling and that I create during this 90 days. Because I already had courses created, but I wasn't really understanding how to sell them, and I wasn't 100% sure if they were making the impact that I wanted them to make. And that was really important to me. I never wanted to sell something to anyone that wasn't going to give them the return. So I did it. I set a goal for myself. I said, at the end of this 90 days, I will have sold $7,000 in courses because I want to ensure that I am getting that full return back. And then, of course, I want to maximize and get even more. But within that 90 days, I was going to sell $7,000 in courses. And it was hard. It was very, very hard because I had to take what she was teaching me during our calls, implement it, and then also go implement into my courses and really make sure that I was doing all of the things that she said. So it was a lot of work, but I did it. And because I not only set the goal of what I wanted that return to be, I set a time frame on it. And I also told my husband. So that helped to keep me accountable to those specific and measurable goals that I had set for this investment. When you join a course or program, whether it's $47 or it's thousands of dollars, right? My accelerator program is $2,000. It's not a small investment. But when you join it, if you are all in, if you say during this 6 months of this accelerator, I'm going to show up to every call, I'm going to be invested, I'm going to do the homework, I'm going to do the things that I'm told to do in this course, you will get the results that are promised at the end of it because they've been proven. But when you buy a course or a program or a download, whatever it is, and you don't set aside the time to get that return on investment, you will not get the results that the students are getting in the reviews. You just won't. You must put in the effort to get the return so that you can be that star student. So you can be the one that says, I completely transformed my business in 6 months. I consistently posted on social media every day for a year, and I 10 times my sales from social media, from Instagram. It is possible. We know it is because we don't make these claims lightly. I don't, at least. I do not make the claims lightly. I only post reviews from actual students who've used my products, and it works because they did. They came and did the work. So I'm going to encourage you that when you're looking at your budget for next year and you're thinking about what pieces of education you want to buy, whether that's Social 365, or if you want to join my accelerator, or you want to jump into one-on-one coaching with me, or from any other educator, I just want to encourage you to really think about these 3 tips I've given you today, and to really think about, what is the return that I want to get? What will I need to do to get those results from this program? Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here every single week. I cannot wait to hear what kind of education you're going to invest in next year. I would love to know. So jump over to the Wedding Pro CEO community. I'll post about it. I'd love to know what kinds of things you're looking at purchasing for next year, what type of education you're looking at buying to make sure that you're taking your business to the next level. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.